A blue hedgehog jumps from building to building, then lands on a skyscraper.
Oh yeah! This is happening!
What a perfect quote to start this video. Throughout most of this video, I will have Sonic gameplay in the background. As far back as I can remember, I always knew I was different. Whether it was because of being in classes for special needs students, or because of my obsession with retro video games, believe me, we will absolutely get to that. I always knew I was different. One night, when I was 13, I asked my parents if I was special, and they told me I was diagnosed with autism at 3 years old. My parents worked super hard to help me get to where I am now, from hiring an excellent tutor to getting my public school to add a special needs program. They have done so much for me, and I'm extremely grateful for that. If only everyone in the world was like that. I didn't really talk much during school unless it was with my very close friends or if I was in a special needs room. I usually minded my own business. Why the heck would I want to talk to anyone outside of that? Let's just say, not everyone was the nicest in grade school. I almost never got invited to birthday parties. Almost none of my classmates wanted to hang out with me outside of school. I was the kid who always got laughed at. Even those who didn't laugh usually talked to me like I was a little kid because they didn't know how to communicate with an autistic person, as if I were an alien. I understand they weren't trying to be mean, but come on. People were jerks, and it only got worse as the years went on. At least, that was until I got to college. College was awesome. Besides the homework, of course. People were so much nicer and more understanding. They didn't treat me like I was 4. I was included in activities outside of class. I even got invited to play Jump Force at my buddy's dorm room after our meeting at the Anime and Manga Club, a club where I became an officer because of how much I had grown since I had become a member. I was accepted by my peers, and it was freaking awesome. However, as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. In the years following my graduation, I started noticing some stuff. I started noticing how people are more lenient, and I mean a lot more lenient, towards those who make snide remarks on autistic folk compared to other groups. If, for example, someone were to say the N-word, which I never condone, by the way, they would get censored and punished. They would risk being canceled, deplatformed, ridiculed, etc. On the flip side, if someone were to use the R-word, they would get off way more lightly. They'd get a slap on the wrist and move on their merry way. On top of that, in recent days, there's been a rise in people saying some absurd things about autism. They say the rise of autism diagnoses is a problem. They're talking about ways to prevent autism in children. Neurodivergent people tend to perceive life and the world around them completely differently from neurotypicals. Our brains are structured differently. The way we process things is almost foreign to ordinary people. For some, it is so foreign that it may be hard to understand how to communicate in a way neurotypicals will understand, making said neurotypicals think something is wrong with us. We don't operate like everyone else, so we're the problem. As much as I want to ignore this, I just can't. It hurts. It makes me feel like I'm less than my peers. Like I'm a burden. Like I don't matter. But then I remember the words of a figure who has literally saved my life.
Hey, what's the matter? Are you lost or something?
A great big dragon attacked my village.
A dragon?
It took my mommy and my daddy and everybody away.
You know where the dragon is, kid?
It's in the big cave at the bottom of that mountain.
All right, I'm on it.
Wait, don't tell me you're going off to slay a dragon now!
Yes, we are.
What of the ladies' tests? You will never make it in time.
Yeah, maybe, but I play by my own rules. Remember that.
You fool.
Hang in there, kiddo. I'll get your folks back.
Sonic the Hedgehog is weird and proud of it. He's loud, he's energetic, he moves at his own pace. He lives life the way he wants and doesn't care what you think. He plays by his own rules. This is a very powerful message to people like me who have been told we are quote-unquote weird. As an autistic person who's been pressured to quote-unquote act normal as to not stand out on countless occasions, even when it has been extremely uncomfortable and tiring, experiencing Sonic's carefree and confident attitude has inspired me to be the best version of myself. Throughout my life, I've always asked why about countless things. Whenever I get the response, "That's how it is," I like to ask, yeah, but why is it how it is? Especially in regards to societal quote-unquote rules. Why is it weird to play handheld video games in public? Why is it weird for guys to wear long socks with shorts? Why is it weird to bring a plushie to a movie theater? Why is it weird to love retro video games and watch South Park? Why is it weird to stim in public? Why is it weird for someone my age to like Sonic the Hedgehog? But I don't always ask that question because I'm afraid I'll annoy whoever I'm talking to. The same goes for when I want to talk about my interests. I worry about annoying or boring the other person to death. Sonic also likes to ask why about the rules, and when he gets the "that's how it is" response with no explanation, he rejects those rules. Seeing Sonic break stupid quote-unquote rules like that is extremely validating to me as an autistic because he's telling me I'm not alone in thinking that some rules are stupid and should be broken. It's not like I'm breaking actual laws. I just want to break the chains that are holding me down and forcing me to act and live in ways that aren't natural to me. Whenever I'm stressed out about these things, I imagine Sonic sitting right beside me, telling me not to worry and that it's okay to feel how I'm feeling. He tells me not to be ashamed of the things I can't help. It's in moments of fear and anxiety about expressing myself and trying new things when I call to mind a certain quote straight out of the hedgehog's mouth.
Nothing starts until you take action. If you have time to worry, then run.
Nothing starts until you take action. If you have time to worry, then run. Some people may assume this means you should run away from your problems, but that's not what Sonic is trying to say. What he means is if you have time to worry about something, you should use that time to confront it head on. For example, I knew I wanted to become a voice actor, and I knew I needed and wanted to take voiceover classes, but I was incredibly nervous to take them because I was afraid I would be no good amongst talented classmates. I was also nervous about expressing myself in front of complete strangers. But then I remembered what Sonic said about facing my fears. Long story short, I ended up taking those classes, plus a stage acting class, and I excelled in all three with a smile on my face. As an added bonus, I get to enjoy an awesome monthly Zoom meeting with people like me who want nothing but to do great things in the entertainment world and help each other do the same. Thank you, Lights, Camera, Access. Sonic has helped me express myself, accept my flaws, and show off my strengths. Sonic and Pac-Man helped me get into retro video games. Guess what? I own 25 different gaming consoles, including a Sega Master System not seen here, 11 different handhelds, including a Game Boy Advance SP and a DS not seen here, and an arcade cabinet with 60 games, and I'm not afraid to show them off. I'd also show off my massive physical media collection, but it's time I finally put an end to this. In the words of YouTuber Mr. Fascinating, the world tells you to mask. Sonic tells you to be yourself. And now, in my words, Sonic is weird and proud of it. And so am I.